This is where the gold comes from.
There we go.
Let's
I have to be careful what I do before the show starts because you'll put it in there. So our Rico hasn't been working well forever. Like it dropped calls and just like frustrating, right? And
right.
Comcast says it's Ricochet's fault. Ricochet says it's Comcast's fault.
Sure.
So Comcast finally came out. I think it's the third time because I'm like, it has to be you. It has to be. And the guy came out. He went outside. He went out to the alley, and he. I'll send you a picture later. But the rats had eaten the freaking wires, so it was like, I mean, you can't make this shit up. You can't.
So all the problems and everything, all the time spent troubleshooting, it was the rats. It was the rats. There he is. Hey, Chris.
Sorry, I got my time zones totally mixed up.
You're all good, man. Hey, we prefer if you're eating the whole time. Yeah.
Welcome to the Insurance Dudes, a podcast for insurance agency owners, helping us to think of different ways to optimize our business and our lives.
What do you do when somebody comes to you about flood? Run the other direction. Talk to this guy, Chris Greene from thefloodguru.com.
Well, hey, man, welcome. It's
How you
awesome
doing?
to have you.
Thanks, man. I'm good. I just got done teaching a flood education class.
Nice. And with who?
One of my real estate companies here in Atlanta.
Cool. So,
It's
so
like
Chris,
my fifth one in 10 days.
wow, you're a busy man these days.
Yeah, I told somebody the last 10 days has been like a book tour.
Nice.
Well, you were in New Orleans, right? With Nick and all those
I was in
guys?
New Orleans. Oh, yeah, I was actually presented in New Orleans.
What was the most exciting thing about the flood presentation?
Well, my presentation wasn't on flood. It actually was on automation and processes inside your agency.
Ooh,
That's
where
awesome.
Jason needs
Yeah.
to talk.
And then the technology failed as I took the stage.
Cool. Give us some highlights. I'm curious.
Well, basically, most people, they come to us and are like, hey, I want to use this automation system. Or I like this system. And I'm like, look, don't get the shiny toy syndrome. Let's work on your process first. And most agencies don't know what their process is. And so that's actually what our whole presentation was. Like, look, let's walk through your process. Let's show you what your process is. You're going to find out you're taking your customers maybe 3 steps too far. You're not taking your your employees far enough. You're creating a bad employee experience, bad customer experience. But the only way to know that's by writing it out.
Right. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest. That was one of my biggest problems, and continues to be in a sense that I want everything written down because things become very clear and very easy once that's done. So I'm in that journey right now.
Well, yeah, we have so much stuff constantly going on and so reactive in the agency, right? That if you don't have like something that I just learned 2 weeks ago how to do in 2 weeks, I have no idea how to do that anymore unless there's some reference, right? This RAM up here it's like 8 kilobytes, so I can't read that.
That's like with my whole videos. Everybody's like, because I'm doing 365 flood videos in 365 days right now. And everybody's like, how do you come up with topics on this? I said, well, I just let y'all start talking and I just start listening.
There you go.
Yeah.
But one of my real estate companies was joking about a subject matter today. He said, how do we stop from getting wet? I said, I appreciate it. That'll be a great topic next week.
Seems like there's a joke there.
Yeah.
There's a catch there. And I'm just using it as a hook for a title for YouTube.
Right.
Nice.
Because Facebook's already kicked me off twice because of that.
Because of those racy titles.
Yeah, I had one that was how firm are you? And I was on a mattress. And I was talking about flood insurance rate maps. But Facebook said it was inappropriate, so they shut me down for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
How firm were you?
Well, all I was doing was talking about flood insurance rate maps. I was just laying on my daughter's baby mattress just to kind of prove a point.
what's
man.
Facebook jail like? What happens there?
Well, it's what sucked for me
is it
was
firm
I'm
there?
I'm like in 150 different groups. Well, what they took away was my ability to post in the groups.
Yeah, does it do the little where it makes the red outline around your post?
Yeah. Yep.
I've been in Facebook jail a couple times then.
I used to be in another group before they kicked me out where they would post those, but that's just because they were blocking my material.
Oh, that's also entirely possible.
So I just figured, well, I made somebody else mad.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what got you into writing flood specific?
Well, it was kind of an accident. My master's degree is in emergency management and a specialization in flood and hazard mitigation. But I was a captive agent for Liberty Mutual for 5 years. And in probably my last year with them, I went and bought a house that was in a flood zone. And, well, we didn't know it was in a flood zone until 2 weeks before closing. And so we went to buy it. They're like, yeah, your flood insurance is going to be $3,000. Oh, by the way, the 4 previous deals have fallen apart because of this. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, thanks.
So I started looking at it.
Helpful.
I said, well, this house was built in '89. If I can track down an elevation certificate, I can get it grandfathered to data compliance. No, you can't. Yeah, everything's the same. Well, 2 weeks later, we closed. My flood premium was $350. So I sold that house, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and it's sold 2 or 3 times since then. I've been doing policy transfers on it, so I still got the customer $400 a year. But through that whole process, even though I had my background and I wasn't too deep into it yet, I discovered, there's a major issue out here for realtors, property owners. Like, there's no education. So I went to work for MetLife for 1.5 years, and they really wanted me to focus on the things they were doing. Well, I grew up with a severe learning disability, so my whole passion was doing a partners in education program that I grew up doing, that I did at Liberty, and Liberty gave me the freedom, and MetLife didn't want me to do it anymore. And I said, look, that's my passion, was the education part. And so that's kind of how I got into the flood. Well, fast forward 2015, I started my agency in 2015, and I wanted a catchy website. So I said, let's just do the Flood Insurance Guru as a joke. And people started learning about our educational background. And then when they did, they're like, oh, you really are the guru and all this. And one thing led to another. Well, we have about a $1.4 million P&C book that now we're kind of at a point where we've had to make a decision that, our long-term goal is to kind of let that book go eventually and just do flood. Because there's so much education for us to do. So between the flood education, the flood insurance, the zone changes, consulting with builders, consulting with insurance agents. I mean, it's a full-time job. And so that's kind of how we've gotten to this point. It was kind of accidental.
That's crazy.
We just kind of, like I tell people, we run towards the sun and everyone else runs away.
Yeah.
We're the ones running into the fire and everyone's running out.
Yeah.
Where there's a problem, a solution is needed.
Yeah, but nobody wants to solve it. Everybody's afraid to discuss. And I guess through our videos and everything, that's one thing we've done. So now, like, insurance agents are sharing our content like crazy now because they realize, hey, they have no interest in cross-selling. And so they will share our content all day long because there's nothing on our website now but flood.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's not a super exciting story.
No, it's good. I love it.
Nothing like Preston Schmitty's.
He's a very interesting dude.
Yeah, I just talked to him yesterday.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I find it very interesting because what I've taken away from that is that now because of the internet and because of you sharing content, you're able to focus on a niche that you're crushing it because of that, where maybe 10 years ago it would be there's no way you would be all over the country while sitting right there or wherever you sit.
Now I'm still traveling the country because like all of my videos are actually shot on site. Like last week when I was in New Orleans and Memphis, I actually shot videos that were relevant to Memphis and New Orleans.
That's cool.
So, but I'll tell you this, if it wasn't for Nicholas Ayers though, we would be nowhere near where we are.
I was going to say, you're using the buzz terms that he would be saying, video and relevance.
Well, we're in his video course, and his course has been the game changer for us.
That's awesome.
I've had my eye on.
Talk about that.
I mean, just the things that he covers in there. It's like, for example, I was actually talking to a realtor today. I said, hey, are you really using video? No, I'm waiting to hire this videographer and to get all this stuff done. I said, so you're waiting to have the perfect plan before you implement it. So when you implement it, all your customers are going to be gone. I said, let me tell you something. I said, and I had to learn this the hard way. And I said, Nick taught me this. I said, people don't care as much what your video looks like compared to what it delivers. So if you've got good content and you've got a good message, your video can look crappy because that message is going to go a lot further than the video looking good.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100%.
And that's what I've discovered in my videos. And if you look at all my videos, most of them are 2 minutes or less. Most of them, I'm just holding my phone up. Now I do use my Canon DSLR to do a little bit of it now, but yeah, I mean, they're all just quick 2 minutes that get straight to the point.
It seems like you get like it's more real, like how you look right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's audio. People are going to just listen to audio, but on the YouTube feed that we put, like this, I'm more apt to watch if it comes across my screen than some production.
Yeah. But I also do video quoting for every one of our customers.
Yeah.
Like I was deep in the video before I did Nick's course, but Nick's course took our business to such a new level of using video delivered across the country. Especially since we're not really even spending any money on ads right now. Some of his tools have helped us do such a good job organically that the tags we're using on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, people are just seeing the videos. And now that I'm blogging with the videos, and I've used how to use some Google keywords in there, that we're ranking at the top of these pages without spending a dime.
Right.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, this is a good advertisement for Nick.
Yeah, it is. But also for the insurance agents that we work with, we've built such an incredible automation for when the leads come in from them that now we're generating all the reviews from their clients for them. Their clients are getting thank you cards from us with all their information on there. We're just helping with the flood. We're just trying to make sure that they're the hero.
That's awesome. When you help others, it really helps you.
Yeah.
100%.
I will. I mean, like State Farm and Allstate agents are actually where most of our business comes from now.
Wow.
How does that look? Like, how does that integration look? Because
I said it's not really an integration. It's just my Facebook Messenger filling up with requests.
It's that simple.
No, for them, because let me tell you what I've done is I've become friends with a lot of them on Facebook. I'll send them a friend request if we got more than, let's say, 15 friends in common, because at that point, we got enough people in common that I'm just not sending you a friend request out of nowhere. And I send them a friend request. If they accept it, great. If they don't, they don't. But I put all of our content on my personal page. I share it every day. They see the content. Oh, I had a customer like that last week. And because I couldn't help them solve their issue on flood, I lost all the other lives. Can you take a look at the flood? It's usually how it goes. And we're like, yeah. I said, our whole goal is to help you get that customer for life, help you grow your business. Like I got a State Farm customer in Georgia. He was paying about $10,000 for a commercial policy that should have been about $3,000 through the private market with some better options. But because of that State Farm agent did not have a chance of getting the commercial lines until we were able to step in and help him with the flood. And now he just closed all the commercial lines he's been going after for 2 years.
Nice.
There you go.
And so, yeah, everybody's so worried. They said you're going to cross-sell their book. But when you can show them a website, hey, there's no other products on here. They literally are what they say they are. Then they feel so much more comfortable. But also when you start providing that video content, the daily educational videos, all that stuff, then they really see too, hey, man, I cannot share it. If I don't share it, then I'm the bad guy.
Makes sense. That's awesome, man. Well, what were you going to say, Craig? You were going to ask a question.
Well, I was going to point out that just while we've been here, I purchased the domain flooddudes.com, and I am willing to resell that.
Somebody reached out to me and said, so you're the person that has Flood Insurance Guru, because he bought like Flood Insurance Dash Guru, but he's up in like New York or somewhere. And so that's the other thing too, is there are like, yeah, you might have some people who specialize in flood, like in New York, Florida, Texas. But the problem is there's no one willing to do it across the country in all these states and help all these agents. And that's what we've discovered. Once you get outside the coast, there's no education.
Right. And you're in every state?
Yeah, every state. Actually, a ton of my business right now is in Arizona.
Hey, maybe we'll get some
It's
more.
insane right now. Yeah, I mean, well, Arizona has basically the lowest base flood elevation out of any state.
What does that
more
mean?
Flooding occurs in Arizona. Just means that it's easier for areas to flood because of flash flooding during monsoon season.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it.
Because, yeah, the water hits the cement. There's nowhere for it to go, so it runs to the low-lying areas and it just sits there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, last year in Phoenix, the whole I-10 was shut down.
Yep.
In the big monsoons, because Phoenix doesn't get the monsoons the way we do, but they got pummeled.
Yep.
So we were kind. We let them have some from down here. But in Tucson, we do, and it happens, and it's very interesting, the mentality of the consumer, because when do we get all the phone calls? After, right? Like after the flood. So.
Yeah, but that's a great opportunity for the education to come into play. Then, they've seen the tangible. They can see what happened, and now you can easily show them the value.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I'm doing a ton of video content for Nebraska. What to do after the floods?
What do you do?
Like I go through and talk about disaster assistance. If you had flood insurance, this is the process. If you didn't have flood insurance, you can still get it after the fact, but this is how you go about getting disaster assistance, or additional living expenses covered, different things like that. When you've got the adjuster coming out on your flood insurance, take a camera around, make sure you document the contents and the damage properly so that you can get through that claims process quicker.
That's crazy. Yeah, a lot of agents don't spend the time to learn about the flood insurance. I mean, if it's only like 5% of your business, then it's better to just hand it to you.
Well, that's why I joke with people. I say, look, how much is a $50 policy costing your agency?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
we stay in our lane, and that's it. Like, we won't even do. Well, we won't do stuff. There's stuff we do, and there's stuff that we just don't do because
stick to what we're good at, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's the thing. The problem, everybody tries to do something great, and what happens is nothing even gets done good.
Right.
But the day you kind of figure out your niche and you can focus solely on that, you are going to excel so much further than everyone else. But until then, you're going to get held back the same way.
Exactly. And I think it's important to have good partners to help fill those gaps so that everybody's an expert at what they do.
Yeah.
And the customer feels incredibly satisfied. I hope.
Yep.
That's the goal.
So, walk me through how it looks or how about when I partner with you and we're doing that. We're sending the flood. How does that look?
Well, what we do is we build a link for each one of our referral partners. It might be an insurance agent, it might be a lender. Heck, it might even be a customer because I have about 900 links. So they have that link whenever they need it. They save it on their team's desktop. They submit it. When they submit it, let's just say a customer submits it. They send it to a customer. Either way, we're still redirecting them to leave them a review, even if it's somebody in their office, just so they can see what the customer's experiencing. As we get it, they get an email from us. And the email is basically what's going on to the customer saying, hey, this is Chris with the Flood Insurance Guru. John Smith from Allstate asked us to reach out to you to review your flood insurance. We've got the information. We're working on it for you. But in the meantime, click below. Let John Smith and his team at Allstate know how they're doing. Leave them a review. And when we do that, when they click on that, they get that email. Well, the Allstate agency also gets an email that we're working on. And as we've completed the quote, we've sent it to the customer. Every time the deal stage changes, that agent's getting an update of what's going on. Like, hey, move deal to 1. Allstate gets an email. Hey, just want to let you know, we just finished up the flood insurance policy for John Smith, got everything taken care of for him. Thank you for the business. Hopefully we can help you get all the other lines over there with them. And so we keep communicating with them. But through all that, even after we do the quote, that customer's getting that thank you card in the mail from that agent, that Allstate agency with all their information. Like we match the logo up and everything. We pay to send the card out and all of that. And that's all part of the automation we build out. So the whole point is to help them gather that customer for life We just so happen to be helping with the flood.
What are you using? What CRM are you using for the automation?
HubSpot right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it
real
costs me about
thing.
$800 a month.
Yeah.
I've used Infusionsoft. I used Infusionsoft for 18 months. I've used ActiveCampaign. I've used Entreport and HubSpot. But the thing with HubSpot is, as expensive as it is, I can send an email, a video with every email. And
Oh, that's cool.
what if I had like one of those Allstate agents reach out to me on Messenger? I can get his email address real quick, send him an email, and say, look, I know you sent me this to me, but what's important to me is that you know exactly who you're working with. So I'm just sending you a quick video to introduce myself.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then with HubSpot, I get notified every single time they open the email, click on the link, whatever. And so when their customers get that flood quote from me, they're getting a video where they click on it and they can actually watch me go through the quote with them. And they're getting a copy of the quote. And they then send it to the agent as well. And so I might be 2,000 miles away, but to them, I feel next door because of the relationship I've been able to build with them through video.
Yep.
Those analytics that HubSpot has are insane.
Dude, it's insane. Like, what I use on reporting now is I'm using it for I'm basically, I use Easy Links as our independent agency, not really CRM, but our management system. HubSpot does a better job. I can report like a daily premium sold and everything.
Wow.
That's awesome.
They told me I couldn't use task completion automation, and I said, I'll prove you otherwise. And so I figured out a way to do it with HubSpot now. So like my VA, we use VAs a lot in the Philippines, and all they have to do is mark the task complete, and all the other automation takes care of itself behind it.
That's super cool.
A lot of all states get a little squirrely about compliance and what can and can't do. Talk to me about that. What is this compliant? Is it any kind of issue for the Allstate agent?
Oh, what happened there?
Did I lose you on the audio?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's okay. Did you hear what so I was asking about the compliance?
No, I heard compliance and that was it.
Oh, okay. So some some Allstate agents get a little squirrely and get concerned when the compliance word comes around. How does this fit into the Allstate compliance structure, and if we need to, this?
See, I don't like that word. That's the reason why I went independent, so I would never have to hear the word compliance again. I'm just kidding. No, see, like that's the cool thing. Like on flood, I need absolutely no personal information. If you want to just give me the address, that is all I need.
That's amazing.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, literally. You need DOB, you need a social. I said, I don't need any of that. If you want to give me the customer's name, it'd make it a lot easier. But all I need is the address. And I said, if you've got some elevation certificates, things like that, and they're like, oh, I'm going to have my customer get one. No, hold off, because they may not even need one. If it's private market, they don't need one.
So what's the difference between private market and non-private market?
I just did my flood education class today on this. So FEMA, of course, is backed by the government. Government controls.
Did we lose you? Awesome. You're back.
I don't know what keeps going on there. Yeah, I don't know what keeps going on there because I'm not moving or anything. But the difference between FEMA and private is it's done through the government. You've got building coverage contents, generally no replacement coverage, no additional living expenses. So FEMA's program, the whole point is to make sure you have something. Well, private is there to make you whole again. It's kind of like replacement cost versus actual cash value on a home insurance policy. Private can pick and choose what they want. So sometimes they may not be the most competitive, but that's because they're using the right technology to determine the risk. But you can get coverages up to $10 million. I've got one in California. We're finishing up a condo association. It's like $8 million policy. But you can get replacement costs on your contents. You can get replacement costs on the building. You get additional living expenses. We've even got one where I did a video last week where we've got some private carriers that are covering pools for repair and refill. With FEMA, if you don't have a primary residence or what you're insuring is not primary, they charge you $250 a year. Private doesn't charge that.
Huh.
So it's a big difference. But then, like I tell people, you have to look at the risk too. I said, if you have a claim with a private carrier, they could cancel your policy. I'm not saying they will, but it could happen because a lot of it is through Lloyd's of London and Lexington. Like right now, for example, Lloyd's of London has like 25 states shut down because of a moratorium because of all the flooding up north.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Stuff I don't know.
Totally. And then you get into the whole letter of map amendment, which is something else we do where we charge the customer. We've got 2 of those we're working on. One of them actually had a policy with State Farm for 20 years, and no one ever told him that he could get his flood zone changed. And we had it changed within 20 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
If somebody came and asked me to
so
change the flood zone, I'd just say, yeah, I don't think that's possible.
Well, and that's the thing. The reason what we look at is, all right, if we get this changed, we highly recommend you keeping the policy because 30% of flooding occurs in low-risk zones. But the reason we're doing this is to help you increase your property value. So when you go to sell your house, this is no longer an obstacle.
Huh.
So
that's cool.
Did I hear way back at the beginning when you were talking about your own house that it has sold 7 times since you sold it?
No, it was like 3 times.
Oh, 3 times.
Like 3 or 4 times, yeah.
That's crazy.
But we just do a policy transfer each time where it's literally a sheet of paper that the customer signs over to the new homeowner and they don't pay anything till renewal.
Oh, so you can release your flood policy?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you can through NFIP. They call it a policy transfer. And what it does is like when I took mine out, I got that preferred rating, which is no longer available. So then it gives that new homeowner what's called that grandfathering status. So that policy has continued to be grandfathered over the years.
Your policy retention must be phenomenal.
On flood, it's 99%. The only reason it's not 100% is because I've been doing some zone changes to get it completely removed.
Dude.
I would like my PNC to be at 99%.
Well, you have to think about this too, though. Yeah, you may make a lot more off of PNC, like people say, but there's no overhead. There's no servicing, so there's no cost. So then you don't have the need for this huge service staff.
But see, Craig likes the servicing part of it. That's
best. Love it.
I like the servicing part. I'll do it all day long, but I want to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah. And not get yelled at. Stuff like that.
No, I don't mind getting yelled at.
Inside.
Trust me, I get yelled at on flood stuff all the time. And the great thing is, I'm like, look, it is what it is. Like I said, if you want to go down the street and shop it, go ahead. And they're going to tell you everything's the same. So that's why, but like, for example, a private flood right now, private depends on the loan type. And so we teach customers, hey, if you want to take advantage of private flood right now, let's refinance you to a conventional loan. All of a sudden, it generates a lead for a lender. And that's what's been happening across the country. That's what I was talking to Bill Somerville with Don Patrol about earlier.
And what was he saying?
We were just talking about it's just kind of happened by accident because, we were talking about some of the digital stuff and the paid ads and that stuff. I said, it's become a little bit of a lead generator for our mortgage brokers by accident.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because customers are like, yeah, I want to take advantage. So, I'll pay an extra 1% on interest if you're saving me $1,500 a year. It's worth that to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a whole.
And so it just kind of keeps getting deeper and deeper every day. Like I joke with people, it's like, look, you have no idea. Like from an E&O standpoint and everything.
Yeah.
We're losing them.
Chris?
You there?
You're back.
I don't know. I'm not moving at all. I don't know what's going on.
It could be solar flares.
Usually.
Yeah.
It's typically what it is.
Yeah,
well, hey,
I've got 4G and everything.
It's because you haven't purchased the flooddudes.com yet.
You did not buy that.
I did.
Did you really?
Sure. Yeah, I'll show you. Can you see it? Dudes.com.
Dudes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I thought he left when he saw that.
No, I don't know.
I'm telling you, you can get in at a great deal here for flooddudes.com. It'll be around. I'm going to keep it.
Hey, I'll tell you what I tell people. A domain will only get you so far. You still got to actually put the content on there.
It's a good point. It is. So how
these days,
how
right?
can they find you, and what will they find when they do?
You can go to our YouTube, our Facebook channel, The Flood Insurance Guru, where you'll find all of our video content on on my YouTube. I have a playlist just for insurance agents. This explains the different zones and all that stuff, what to do when listings change for realtors. But it gives real insurance agents kind of a basic one-on-one when it comes to flood zones, things like that. On our website, you will have a lot of those videos as well. YouTube, there's blogs. Our website's really more there about a knowledge base as well. We've got our lead forms and all that stuff on there where people can share our blogs. You can go to our LinkedIn where I post a bunch of our LinkedIn.
Chris.
Solar flood.
And he's back.
Solar.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when it cut out, but
Darn
yeah,
solar.
you can go to our website, The Flood Insurance Guru, our YouTube channel, and our Facebook page, which is the Flood Insurance Guru as well. But
Awesome.
website's just
Check it out.
floodinsuranceguru.com.
I got to check it out. I don't know anything about flood. I'll be totally honest. I
Yeah,
know
well,
this much.
we can make a video on insurance dudes that will redirect the traffic over there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll tag so what we'll do is on our, when we put this up on our YouTube channel, insurancedudes.com, we'll make sure to put all of that information so people can find you super easy. Anything else you want to go over, Jason? Or anything that you want to go over, Chris?
The other thing I would say, if they're interested in us building one of those links for them, just shoot us an email or send me a message on Facebook.
Okay.
Our whole goal is to help them grow their book. Whether we take care of the flood or not, I probably spend 2 hours a day talking to other insurance agents on the phone about processes and automation. So if there's something we can help them with.
Can I get a login and an area in your HubSpot that I could use?
Dude, I do have a few users in there because let me tell you, when I started with HubSpot, I had 5 users and it's just me now. And so that's my struggle with paying that much every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk.
How much did you say it was?
Yeah, they're going $800 a month.
Oh. Yep.
And they're probably going up even more on me than that. But like, it's great because I've got conversations. So like when I was out doing a class today, I could have had our VA overseas go through my entire email because I have my email connected to conversations in HubSpot. So every single email comes in and we can respond back to it with knowledge-based articles, videos, the quote attachments, everything.
That's awesome.
Dude.
You can't beat that stuff.
No.
Dude, that is.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
So
Well-
my whole goal is to bring flood education to the world that they've never seen. That is my whole goal through the video series.
Well, I can tell you that you're going to get a message from me, and we're going to figure this out because the
That's
girls,
awesome.
I start sweating. The girls start sweating when they talk about it. Does anybody know how to do the flood? And then it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Then you
And see,
tuck it
Arizona's a
under the
breeze,
mattress.
man. I don't think I've ever had a hard case in Arizona.
Well, there you
That's
go.
awesome.
If there is going to
Well,
be
a
one,
lot
I
of
will.
that is too. You don't really have a lot of basements in Arizona, so it makes it pretty easy.
No, only the serial killers have basements here.
Yeah.
Craig has 3.
You know, it's not like in Minnesota where you're having to deal with all this, basement somebody's water because they had 6 feet of snow.
So yeah, Minnesota. That's a whole nother thing. Well, hey,
So I'm saying
Chris,
it's literally, man. Yeah, it's insane.
awesome. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. We're doing a back-to-back, so really appreciate it.
Okay.
We got your contact, and this has been awesome.
Yep. I appreciate
Chris,
it, man.
thank you so much, man. I'm gonna go on there and learn a little bit because I know I need.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Hey, just as I said, make sure to like the Facebook page and the YouTube channel and share the content like crazy because that's the only way people know.
Totally.
For sure. And everything's embeddable and we can put it on our stuff and yeah, well, I'm gonna share it out. So thank you.
I think it froze on him. Either that or he froze.
Or he
Like that.
like how?
Something like that.
I think he's gone. He's gone.
Okay. That was awesome.
God, I don't know what. Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, there.
So, but as I said,
All
just
right.
share the content like crazy because that's the only way people know. And I appreciate you guys having me on. I don't know what's going on with my connection.
Yeah, well, we
Y'all gonna have
appreciate
fun
you.
editing this one.
Technology.
It's on your end.
Solar flares.
Yeah.
All right.
What's-
See
yeah,
you, brother.
I'm on a 4G signal and everything. Thanks, man.
Yep. See ya.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Woo! Oh, dude, I got the giggles halfway through that.
Your Insurance Dudes podcast is sponsored by Agency Vault, an industry leader in agency coaching, hiring and retaining top talent, and sales training with the 7-step trusted advisor sales framework. Are you up for the challenge? For $99, you'll get 28 days of access and an opportunity to join our private platinum coaching group. For more information, navigate to www.agencyvault.com.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.